For example, you work with so many companies in GCC. You prefer working with an agency or having an in-house team to manage the marketing?
I think both options has pros and cons. And I think there's very few people who kind of manage to have the best of the two worlds. They kind of have their in-house team, but they also have agencies that they deal with.
The marketing team to manage
the agency and work closely with them. And also that depends big time on the size of the company. For the small companies that they just starting, being able to build that powerful partnership with boutique agency, because big agencies might not have the appetite to focus on a small business. So having a powerful partnership with a boutique agency when you're just starting, it gives you a lot of leverage. You get the expertise, you get the knowledge. When you're mid-size, a hybrid model, but not a full-scale hybrid model. You need someone in-house, and so that person kind of understand what the agency is doing.
Maybe like an ex-agency kind of a person.
Exactly.
That'll be
that's
good.
The best.
Yeah.
I think the best person to deal with the agency is someone who is
But
an
it's the worst client you can ever get. You know, the client who comes and says like, oh, I used to work in an agency. It's like the worst person you can deal with.
I think that there's a lot of stigma about agencies in this market.
Sure.
To some extent, some of it is true. A lot of agencies, they just took advantage of a lot of people, but there's also a lot of agencies who are doing great job.
Yeah.
I don't think either or, it's always together. I think it's an ecosystem. There is a need for some disruption in this kind of relationship.
Yeah. The thing that you mentioned is a powerful partnership that agency can have with the company. And this is very important because I keep hearing from clients that they've been going through agencies like nothing, and they're tired of it, and they have zero trust in different agencies because they just like change them every couple of months. And this is a big issue, I think, for agencies and for clients.
I hear this a lot. Yeah. Every time I deal with a client, they tell me, "Oh, do you have a good agency? Do you recommend?" I'm looking for an agency. But I think when your partnership with the agency fail, the first thing that you need to do is to hold yourself accountable. Here's the thing, let's be realistic. If you gave me a reason to cheat you, I might do. Or if you gave me a reason not to give you my full self, I might do. Yeah. And I'm not giving an excuse. I'm just being realistic.
True.
So a lot of people hire the agency. First of all, they don't vet the agency very well at the beginning. They just go with a recommendation or whatever. That's number one. Number two, they don't build a very clear agreement and objectives of what they want the agency to achieve. There is no plan. There is no very clear reviews, whether monthly or weekly or quarterly.
Or like an accountability tracker.
Exactly.
It's very important.
No accountability. They just assume that I'm hiring the agency and the agency is going to do everything for me. And a lot of things might not be within the scope. And then disappointment happens. Business owners, business leaders, they need to lead with marketing. In today's era, marketing is fundamental. So I think it's very important to educate themselves. They don't need to be experts. Like if I am a CEO or a business owner or even a solopreneur, like I work by myself, I don't need to launch a Google campaign by myself, but I need to understand how Google Ads works, right? I don't need to design a full content calendar, but I need to be able to understand the process of that. So I think that education will create that powerful relationship.
Yeah.
Because when you understand how things works and you are clear in communicating your expectations or even your objectives and what you're trying to achieve, then people meet halfway. And I think this is where most of disappointment and break between the two comes from. This
miscommunication
and
misunderstanding.
Yeah.
For sure. What would be your main points to look into when you're looking for agency, and how you would communicate with them from the client perspective? Like, what would you advise?
So I think when I look for agency, the first thing I would be looking at is basically how are they selling themselves? Because if they are not selling themselves, how am I gonna trust them to sell me? And if you're an agency in today's era that doesn't sell itself,
But what do you mean by selling? Like, is it making TikTok videos, or it's?
it depends. It could be whatever their main channel.
Yeah.
It could be their LinkedIn page, their Instagram page, their TikTok page, their Facebook page, even their website. Like, how are they selling themselves? What are they saying out? How many followers do they have? How many? Like, I would look at their how are they presenting themselves? That's, for me, is very important.
Yeah.
Second thing is the way they do the discovery with me.
Okay.
The type of questions that they ask me, right? So when I meet them for the first time, are they interested in selling me their package, or they are interested to know about my business? And if someone from an agency, and the first question are asking me is, how many posts do you need per month? That's not the person I'm looking for. I actually want you to tell me how many posts I should do.
Sure.
But if you're asking me, what are your business? What's your customer journey? What are you trying to achieve? Who is your target audience? That's a person I would like. So discovery calls are it's actually an interview.
Yeah.
And agencies think that discovery calls is for them to sell the service, but it actually for the business owner to know if these people are asking the right questions. A second thing I would say, test them before you sign a full face contract. Test them. And give them a task, give them a project, give them something, and see what they're going to do. Ask them, how do they track the success of whatever project they are doing?
How to measure it.
Exactly. How are they measuring progress? Let's say, like how progress is being measured. There is also a very interesting one that a lot of people don't really kind of pay attention to, is the way the agency charge you.
Yeah.
So there's different ways that agency charge. There's project, there's a retainer, there's a flat rate. It depends. But I think one indicator for me is how confident is the agency, is when they charge you a flat, plus a percentage of the results.
But do you think clients would agree to that?
Yes, I would. Why not? Why wouldn't agree?
I mean, yes, your success is part of their success, but at the same time, some people get greedy.
See, I think greediness just does not go with abundance.
For sure.
The two, they don't just come together, right?
For sure.
So if you actually, and I think we win when we win together.
I agree.
Right? So you are actually, when you give them that, they are in it. Right? So now your success is their success. And if you're smart enough, you can actually, so for example, if I want to hit a target of 100K a month, it's easy to tell the agency, I want to hit 120.
Yeah.
Get me the 120, the 20 is yours.
Yeah.
Your initial target is 100.
And the motivation is crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you might be surprised because they might actually get you way more than the 120. Right? Because this is how you create a powerful relationship. Because what in it for me, if I am getting paid the money, if I did on a scale of 1 to 10, if I did 7 out of 10, I'm getting paid 100K.
Yeah.
And if I did 10 out of 10, I'm also paid 100K, right?
Sure.
So what the difference between the people who are going to do the 7 and the people who are going to do the 10 is how passionate is those people toward their job. And you might be lucky, you might not.
Sure.
Probability, like, right? It depends on a lot of other factors. But if I said to you, if you got me a 7, I'll pay you a 600. But if you did a 10, I'm paying you 1,000. What's the percentage of people that they're gonna get me the 1,000? Way bigger. Yeah. Okay, so from the agency perspective, say, what are the most challenging things when you deal with clients for the first time?
I think the most important thing would be to start with a trust, and that will require alignment on objectives, alignment on vision, and the process that we're going to be working with particular clients. And to be honest, with every client, it's going to be a different process because we're going to be adapting to their business model, to their working model. Everyone's different. And getting these things, getting these points is a little bit difficult, I think, in the beginning for the agency. But once you have it, like, you can relax. You know that whatever you'll do will get approved. You know that you won't need to go back and forth with designs, with the shootings or any marketing work, because you are aligned. And this, for me, like, the most important piece, because there's nothing worse than wasting time sending stuff and things are not getting approved, and just this back and forth. You know about it.
I know you're very picky when you pick your clients.
Yeah.
Even if that means turning away extra zeros.
True. The thing is, it's about finding your clients for me, and finding this particular client who is yours. The work will go smoother, the things will get better, the projects will be more interesting, rather than wasting and burning yourself with someone who is probably difficult or not understanding or stubborn.
But people need to pay bills.
It costs way more to work with a bad client than with a good one.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose money, you're gonna lose time, you're gonna lose energy, and I think energy is the most valuable thing that you can lose when working marketing. So it's very important. You pick and choose people you want to work with, so you are aligned. So you have the same vision, you have the same passion. It needs to be a love in the first sight with the client. Otherwise, it's not going to worth it. It's not going to be working.
What's the one thing that you wish your client will understand?
As I said, like, it's just a job at the end of the day. No one's going to die, thanks God, and I don't take it too serious like some people do. Like, we need to have fun at the end, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think for me is, as you said, sometimes it's just not worth the energy.
That's the thing. Like, some clients will make you burn out, and that might lead to you losing 2, 3, 4 months of your life, just, not feeling well. And this happened to me before. So that's why you need to pick and choose people you work with.